Oh, shoot. I'll go figure. I lost the bow staff. Time out, time out. I'm coming. Right? So when you're like, well, pretend that wasn't there. Bing, 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 bing. Boom. But what was I? Oh, the point was, so there's this form. Oh, me too. Oh, you're supposed to be like that, right? Anyway, I'm not going to do all that, right? But some of the opening movements, people are like, what are you doing? It doesn't make sense. So while you're sitting here with your traveling stick and you're trying to pretend that you're an unthreatening, lowly monk, and you get surrounded by a bunch of sassholes, and, you know, to reach for your stick, you've already given yourself away, right? You know, let alone if you got some guy, he's bothering your face, he's possibly got his hands up in your face, right? Or even then, let's say they're here or they're here. So, you know, having the Wu Sao ready. By the way, this is a Wu Sao. It ain't just the monk's hand, you know, oh, Buddha bless you in Wang Chun. It's a Wu Sao. It's a protective, you know, it's the second line of defense. So anyway, you're here. But when you kick it over, this right here, I mean, just this motion, most people are going to be like, oh my God, sticks twirling. And if you're lucky, it'll pick up some dirt and it'll shoot some dirt that way, right? And then from here, whoop, right? I mean, sure, you could kick it into the Mabu, right? And that's because maybe you're dodging a strike at your head. And then you're stepping back. Bow! Right in the face. Bow! And as soon as you do that, boom! I mean, hitting somebody on the head with, well, prime example, that fan's going to be sturdier than somebody's head, right? And the stick kept spinning. That's why I didn't want to do this in here. But it's wet outside, and then I'll slip, and they'll be like, ha, see, he slipped. So, you know, but look what I did anyway. I hit the fan. That's the finger breaker, though. Those are heavy-duty fans. I'm good. So, boom, boom, boom. And like I'm saying, when you grab it towards the back, if you grab it towards the middle, you're going to have less oomph. But that's why they have you stick them in the face to create distance. Whether it's the face or the chest, that's going to drive them back a little bit, right? Bing! And then your hand comes forward. Bow! Right on the top of the something. Whether it's the back of the head, the top of the head, it doesn't matter. And even if you miss, it's still pretty scary. And then that's when you step in. Push with the palm strike. And a palm strike to the nose depends on what you want to do. You want to be a nice guy and you want to push him down? Or do you want to, bow, put his nose up in his cranium? You know, and even a shot to the solar plex with the palm strike, most people are going to, and as you do that, boom, then you come in, pull in the stick. Boom, boom, boom. You know, and that's where, again, being comfortable with switching hands. Bing, 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 bing. You know, so anyway, what do they do? So from here, you hit them with this thing, and then you're coming in, right? And you're 1, 2, I forgot because I ain't done the form in a while, right? But I do know this. Then I'm going to hit the fan again if I try to show anything else, right? But, you know, there's a lot of applications to the staff. Poof, poof, poof. I would never do that, by the way. What I just did, the letting go, that's what will happen. I don't care how fancy you are. The second you spin it and it makes contact, it's going to fly out of your hand like that. And look, it flew out of my hand without contact. So all that baton twirling shit, that's garbage. That's for showing off in a tournament. That ain't for combat. Don't do that. Right? But boom, 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 boom. You know, now spinning like this, that's one thing. And even spinning like this, it's still risky. The second you got to let go of your stick you're playing with fire, right? But certain spins, boom, you know, some of that. Or if you're trying to cover ground and intimidate something. Prime example, this ain't always for people. Let's say you're surrounded by a pack of dogs. The dogs are going to see this stick, and they're going to be like, what the fuck? Boom. That's why some of them styles, they'll be like, boom, boom. Or they're hitting low. They're not just going for busting ankles or stabbing people in feet. You know, because back in the day, you know, how many times have we heard stories about got mauled by a bear, mauled by a dog, mauled by a, you know, people are like, oh, you're not fighting a bear. It's not always mama bear, motherfucker, right? And even then, a well-placed shot to the eye, who knows? It might give you a chance to zigzag between some trees. I don't know. But dogs, that's for sure. Big cats, that's for sure. Unfixed cats, they can be aggressive. We've seen it, you know. Remember that movie Strays? They should do a remake. But what was the moral of the story? Is that the staff is one of those things that's available everywhere, whether it's a broom or a mop or a pool stick. And I'm not advocating you to go out there and be a barroom brawler and get, you know, but if some asshole pulls a knife on you, you got, yeah, that pool stick's better for than just swinging like you're the great Bambino. I mean, you can do some things. Whoop. But yeah, and like I'm saying, you know, that's where that initial first movement where they open it up and then woof, bing, you know, that's what you're doing. Kicking some dirt, maybe, dodging out of the way, and then bam, bam. And that right there should knock most people out. But, you know, most likely you're getting jumped because that's what people do nowadays.